Ennis, Utah, but I've been living in Cortez, Colorado on and off for the past 5-6 years. I grew up in Utah, Ennis, Utah. It's kind of on the border with Colorado, and that's where the reservation line is. So we're pretty close to that. But growing up on the reservation was really, I guess in my childhood, I loved it because of the rocks, you know, and everything. But when I think about it now, it was really, when I look at it now, that's my home. That's where I'll always be. That's where I'll always come back to, because that's where my family's at. But I look at it now, and the things I've seen, the things I've done, I find it very dull, because I grew up in a town probably with a population of less than 500. You know, we have one store, one little chapter house, now they made like a justice building. We had a preschool. I went to preschool 5 minutes away from where I live. I went to elementary school and high school about 15 minutes away from where I live. I had to ride the bus. If I missed the bus, then I had to, you know, get a ride with my mom or somebody. But growing up on the reservation is definitely something that's in you. You know, you grow up, you grow accustomed to those things. And sometimes when I want to get away from the hassle of, you know, Cortez is not very big, but it can be a hassle. When I want to get away, that's where I'm always going to go, you know. The situation there is it's very poor. Not so poor as, you know, other places, but, you know, it's kind of like in the level of middle class, you know. But people still struggle with alcoholism, and, you know, I saw that with my friend's parents, and by the grace of God, my family, some of my family do, but they're more on the outside. And but you see a lot of domestic, you know, violence. You see a lot of, you know, the stereotypical alcohol abuse, drug abuse, you know, DUI-related deaths, you know, alcohol poisoning, things like that. But there is a really high rate of, you know, high school graduates from there who are expanding. And a great part about being an American Indian is that we have funds and grants if we want to pursue, you know, higher education. So there's a lot of things that are offered to us. We just don't know how to take advantage of it, you know, or we just don't have the motivation. You know, everybody, it's kind of like a circle, you know. Your parents are alcoholics, they don't care, you might as well do it. So, but a lot of this generation is really breaking out of that. They're starting to go to college. You know, I have nieces and nephews that are pursuing higher education now. Some just graduated this year from college, and my oldest nephew is somewhere traveling the world. I don't know where he's at this week, you know, but he's 22, and he's just like, I'm not going to get stuck, you know. They have that attitude now. I'm not going to get stuck. I'm not going to be like my parents. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to persevere, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to help. And that's the attitude that a lot of our younger generation is getting now. So that's really good. But the thing is, the more they go away from home, the more we're kind of losing our culture, you know. As far as you know, our culture is like our language. You know, our language is just an awesome language. If you know anything about the Navajo language, it was used in now I can't remember, World War II, the code talkers and everything. It's very hard to decipher, very hard to learn, even for me. I write it and read it and understand it better than I can speak it. So I got 3 out of 4. I can't beat that, but I can carry a conversation, and I do understand, and I love the older generation, you know, because they have a lot to teach you. A lot of my my aunts and my uncles are very old, much older, you know. I'm the youngest of the entire family. I have 2 older brothers. My oldest brother is like 43, and then Maya is 41 and I'm 29, so there's a big gap. But I learn a lot from a lot of the elders in my family, just, you know, everything about our culture, how they were raised is how they're raising us, and how they're raising the babies in the family. They're very much close-knit, you know. They do literally raise all of us all at once. So.
Cultural differences are interesting when you're working with another people group. And the native people are, well, most of my experience has been with Navajos, and most of the people that we have here in our program are Navajos, simply because they're the largest tribe, they're the closest, and we have the best referral system with churches and missionaries on the Navajo reservation. But native people are, especially Navajos, are very quiet and withdrawn, and so you know, you're working with a group of people. Alcoholics are known for suppressing, repressing things, stuffing. They're stuffers. Well, when you add that to the native culture, where maybe they're not used to expressing themselves either. That causes a big challenge when you're trying to help people, to get them to open up, to get them to share, to get them to really tell you where they're hurting and what the real need is. So yeah, I would say it's that cultural difference of, in our society we're very direct and we'll tell you what we're thinking. Yeah, I come from New Jersey, and in New Jersey everybody tells you what they're thinking. You don't have to guess. You might not like to hear what they've got to tell you, but they're very direct. But then when you're here with native people, you have to be very patient. You have to be very kind. You have to be very quiet. You have to give them the opportunity to share. And I have found that when you win their friendship, when you show them that you care, they will share things with you that maybe they've never shared with anyone in their whole life. And that's quite an amazing moment when they do share the deepest hurts of their life with you. But it doesn't come easy because of that cultural difference of holding things in.
This property originally was a Navajo Bible College, and that's where the founder lived. When he passed away, all the funding for the Bible College dried up, and so the vision died because people were giving to him rather than to his vision. When the first year we came up here, they had gutted this house and remodeled everything, and over the years they had just keep doing a little more and a little more to kind of fix it up, decorate it, things like that. They added the porches and stuff, but that's this building here.
I think the people that work here at CDC are very special. They're very loving and kind to the students here and to all of us that come, and I think they make a great sacrifice giving up their lives to come and live and work here, because even though they supposedly work Monday through Friday, they still have to do certain things with the students on Saturday and Sundays. Then we're here on Saturday and Sunday. Other mission groups are here. So I think that they deserve a lot of thanks and a lot of praise for what they do.
We're in Cortez, Colorado at the CDC. It's the Christian Discipleship Center. It's a program mostly for Native men and women that have problems with drug and alcohol abuse, and it's mostly like a discipleship center, so it's mostly for already like saved Native men and women that have gotten hooked on drugs and alcohol and stuff, and that need help to get off, and just immerses them in the Word and concentrates on discipling them.
So my name is Mike Hammer, and I'm here in Cortez, Colorado at the CDC, Christian Discipleship Center, and I'm with the group from Lake Cities, and we are building out the laundry room.
Last year I did primarily the cooking, and the first year that I came, we helped clean Miss Colleen's house. I helped sort some clothes that had been donated to see what could be salvaged and what needed to be just thrown away. I worked in the office stuffing envelopes, just assorted jobs.
Let's see, last time we came here on a mission trip, we did the first part of this building. We built the foundation of the wall, all the concrete slabs, got that built up, and then we built the actual walls of the wooden frames and put up the roof part too, and that was a lot of fun.
Allowing them to move the laundry over here to this other building, and then they're going to move the pantry down, enlarge the kitchen and dining living room area. That's where they like to have graduation. It's a much more intimate setting rather than having it in the gym where it echoes real bad. The first year we worked here, this covering for the sidewalk and that ramp were not there. There was a sidewalk and steps. And the last thing we did before we left was take a sledgehammer to the steps and the sidewalk so they could do that, because they had just accepted a man to come in that was in a wheelchair, and so they had to make it ADA. So, come on. Anyway, the round silver closet on the other end of it is the entrance. That's the workshop. That's where all the tools and stuff are, unless you're doing garden work. If you're doing garden work, then that's in this brown building here. This closet was left over. If you look up here on this hill, there is a water storage tank for rain collection that they use for water that pipes down for irrigation and stuff in that big tank up there on that hill. This is the other half of that. Somebody at one time had enough to make it twice as tall, and they cut it in half and turned it here to make the shop out of it. But right in here was about 4 feet farther down last year as we set this wall here with cinder blocks on around as we did the 3 walls. Our goal was just to build this, the wall there, to build this floor. And then, oh, he put a doorway. This is the back side of the shop. This will be a storage room, and then over here is what's going to be the laundry room.
This time, where we put up all the insulation up inside the wood frames that we did, and we put up all the sheetrock and got that built, which was also quite fun, but and very good hard work. Like, I've done a little bit of wall building before, but it was years ago, and so I've learned a lot more techniques, a lot more in-depth things that I didn't know I needed to do before. And it's cool when you get to do all the mudding. You get to learn to get the right motion down. It goes nice and fast. Starts off slow, but then get it going, and woo, it's done.
I've done minor kind of repair kind of things around the house, building a shed, things like that. But it's nice to be able to come with people who know what they're doing. They mentor you. Here's how you do drywall. Here's the sequence you do, and then turn you loose to actually try it and do it. We make some mistakes, and the people are so gracious when we do, and here's how you fix them when you do. So it's been a great learning experience for us, and hopefully support for them.
This week we've mostly been working on our main project, finishing up the laundry room, putting insulation in, sheetrock, mudding and everything, and then various other projects. Putting up a wall in the Cochran's house, which is one of the missionary families that lives around campus. Painting trailers. I think we did a little bit of killing weeds. Cleaning up Mr. Colleen's house and repainting the porch again. The favorite part was probably putting up the wall in the Cochran's house. We got to build the frame and cut up his wall and put in the wall and sheetrock it and mud it and finish it out and everything, so that was really fun.